Alright, I'm back. I know not everyone, but a lot of people have been wondering where I've been since these playoffs have started. And just say we got a lot to talk about. And especially after today's shit show of a race that I strongly disliked more than life itself. Honestly, banger. These are so much. Ugh, I love them so much. Um, Thank you for sponsoring Chase. I love these. Ugh, I love it. Anyway, I'll get into it. There is a lot to talk about since the end of the regular season. So we started with 16 drivers. Obviously, sorry for the background noise. My window's open because it's a nice day here in Arizona. Finally, it's in the 70s, like 75 degrees right now. It rained a shit ton yesterday, and we had thunderstorms, lightning, whatever. Um, Yesterday and this morning, and I had to switch this morning in that weather, so that was fun. Um, anyway, the 16 drivers started out. We had RCR, but both RCRs involved. We saw both Trackhouse, all of Hendrick, um, Penske, 3 out of 4 Joe Gibbs cars, um, Harvick, Briscoe, um, there's some I can't remember, but we kicked off the round 16 at Darlington. And for whatever reason, these playoffs have been horrid for Chase, my driver. I'm going to talk about Chase for a minute. It just drives me nuts how these playoffs have been going. I know it's like all up in the air. It's like a wild card. And like it's been such a shocker this year that we've seen non-playoff drivers win the first, let's see, 5 races of the playoffs. Like half the playoffs were won by non-playoff drivers. Eric Jones won at Darlington in the magical 43 car and got he needed that win. Plus he's very good at Darlington. That's his second Southern 500 win since his first win since he got booted from Joe Gibbs Racing because they suck ass. But I'll get that's another story for another day. Um, the DVP clock sucks ass and needs to go away. Um, that's a damaged vehicle policy or clock, whatever. Um, went from 6 minutes to 10, which doesn't make up for anything because that clock ruined Chase's chances of finishing the Coke 600 and finishing the race at Darlington. So props to you, NASCAR, for your shitty policies and your shitty rules. Inconsistent, I should say. And I'll get more into that in a minute. Kansas, I won't forget that race ever fucking happened. The guy that I will talk about later won this race, and he's a piece of shit. Chase finished 11th in this race. I don't know what it is about these tracks, but he's just been horrid at. Bristol, he kind of rebounded, got solid stage points, finished second to Chris Buescher, of all people. And I want to say the lack of passing with these cars and at these tracks is absolutely horrendous. Like, you couldn't pass at Bristol to save your goddamn life. You'd be lucky to even pass. It was like watching Martinsville in the spring where no one passed. No one. So I'm eager for this Martinsville race to see if the package has changed or not. If it has, I'd be grateful. But that's really the last chance Chase has to make it into the Final Four. But he's still solid looking in the points, but I'll get to that in a minute. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Um, After the round of 16, who got eliminated? After the first round, both RCR cars got eliminated. Kyle Busch? I want to say it was Kyle Busch because he's had a shit show of the last handful, like half of the season. Um, Someone else, can't remember who it was, but and Harvick was out. Like holy hell, like all these guys. I don't know if they were like the first ones out. I don't remember who was the first ones out. Um, I know it was the RCR guys for sure. Um, I need to look this up because it's gonna bother the shit out of me. Um, there's a lot of news, people. Just give me a second. La, la, la. That's not it. That was around 12. Ba, ba, ba. I know I should have been more prepared, but hello, do phone. Still around the 12. Oh, there is a lot to talk about. Eehee. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about Noah Gragson too. Oh, I'm at it. He won 4 straight races. So that was fucking wild. Um, so he's like the clear favorite in the championship hunt for the Xfinity Series, next to Ty Gibbs. But Josh freaking Berry clinched his way into the Final Four for the Xfinity Series on Saturday. Here, where do they run? Wow, I'm having a brain fart. Las Vegas. I'm like, my brain does not want to work today. I am tired. Hello. It's still around the 12. Why am I still in the round of 12? I'm just having major brain farts right now. But the first 5 races of the playoffs have been just chaos. Tire issues, major tire issues. Fuck Bubba Wallace because he's a piece of shit. Okay, round of 16. That was the first one. Second. Fucking likes you. Piece of shit. I'll talk about Kyle Busch here too, because it's major news. He's driving for RCR next year in the 8 car, while Reddick is a piece of shit who's moving to the 45, because Kurt can no longer run full time. So, that's fun. Bristol when all hell broke loose. Oh yeah, okay. So I was right. It was both RCR guys, Harvick and Busch, that were first out. That that is where I was getting at. Okay, now I can catch up a bit. Um, Bristol was chaos for the Toyotas, obviously, and then the drivers kept running their mouth like Harvick and Hamlin about the cars safety. Like I get it, the cars were are not good safety wise, and Kurt Busch is out for this rest of the season and can't run full time anymore because of this concussion, and that's understandable. So, moving on to Texas, where Alex Bowman has a similar issue, has concussion-like symptoms, and is out basically for the rest of the season, and out of the playoffs. So he was out of the round of 12. Austin Cindric, Suarez, and Larson. Freaking Larson got eliminated after the Roval. Yeah, the Roval. Where I will get into this now. Everyone not everyone, but majority of this toxic fan base believes Chase is the golden child or golden boy, and everything gets handed to him. And there's a guy on TikTok that firmly believes that and actually believes everything he says. So I called him out on this bullshit, and he made a reply video to it, and I haven't watched it because I don't like being in the middle of conversation, but here I am. He just makes constant videos of how Chase is a moron, how he should not be in NASCAR, he's a bad influence, and I can show you a list of bad influences, and Chase is not on it. So, moving on. And the Charlotte Roval, I want to get into that. Just the way it played out. The week before Talladega, Chase knocked out of the park, won his way into the round of 8, like a champ does, with awesome strategic moves. And that was the most most tame Talladega race I've ever seen in my life. There was only one big wreck, and that was about it. And Chase made strategic moves all day and won that thing, and boom. 5 races on the season. Roval should have been 6, but NASCAR screwed the pooch on that one. Screwed him out yet again of another road course win. It just reminded me so much of Indy road course where it was a shit show. Other shit show. Over a freaking advertisement sign that was sitting on the track for God knows how long, but no one said a word. And it was not even a problem up until 5 laps to go. We'll throw caution now. Because it was an entertainment caution. They wanted the chaos. That's what led to Larson being eliminated. I'm not blaming the playoff format, but it just NASCAR basically had Larson eliminated from the playoffs. Screwed Chase out of a win, his 19th career win, and 6th on the season, probably the most in his career in a season. The restart was god awful because we were getting pinned down and run way too aggressively by the 16th. These non-playoff drivers are a fucking nuisance. I get it. You're driving for the win, you're driving for yourself and getting wins. You're race car drivers, you want to be competitive and shit like that. But when you're racing with guys in the playoffs, have some fucking respect. I don't give a shit who you are. But don't run through playoff drivers just because you feel the need to. Reddick, I'm calling your ass out because you're a piece of shit. I'm not even going to excuse my language because he is a piece of shit. Drove through Chase, spun him out, and we ended up finishing 20th. 20th. Could have won that race. Entertainment caution comes out, and we finish 20th. While Christopher Bell gets handed another win on a road course due to NASCAR's lack of capability to have any common sense on throwing cautions or not. And this is where the topic of conversation of Chase being the golden boy comes in. People always claim, oh, they never throw the caution when Chase is in the lead, and they always hand him the win and give him. He never earns anything. But in this case, everyone went to social media and said, no one can say shit that Chase is a golden boy when he's not, and when this played out on track. The more times Chase has gotten screwed over by NASCAR and out of wins this season and in his career is fucking wild. And everyone as with a brain knows it. Absolutely has seen it, has called it out. And it's very pathetic, honestly. It's pathetic. So, but they still call him Golden Boy for whatever reason that may be. The only reason is because of his last name. That's literally it. The guy on TikTok says, he doesn't earn anything. It's like, and making fun of Chase's post-race interview for Talladega is like, these are so hard to win. It's like, how are they so hard to win when they're all given to you? I'm like, yeah, so all 18 races were given to him? I'm sorry. You go out and win 4 straight fucking road course races in a row. You go win Talladega twice. At your home track. At Dover twice. At Phoenix for the fucking championship. At Martinsville. Kansas. Pocono. Even though that one was literally handed to him because the front cheated. But regardless, minus that one, nothing was handed to him. His first win was not handed to him. It was not given to him. He ran the race of his fucking life against one of the best on road courses. That's not a fluke. Him winning back-to-back races at the Glen was not a fluke. Winning back-to-back races at the Roval was not a fluke. And was not handed to him. He's just that damn good on road courses. And this year, NASCAR has screwed him more times than not. And people don't seem to understand that. And the camera thing after the Roval, like him just shoving the camera out of his face, people calling him a crybaby, a drama queen. If you want to have a private conversation and not have a camera in your face, you should have gone your holler and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you realize he had reporters like Claire B. Lang and other people waiting to interview him, and even Byron right after the race on pit road. He was not obligated to do it. He just did it because if he didn't say anything, people would still run their mouth, and no matter what the guy does, people shit on him and find reasons to shit on him. He'll breathe and just exist, and you guys fucking hate him. The dude was frustrated, clearly. Fucking frustrated. Why would you want a camera in your face right after the race? And like literally, it's like a camera is literally right here in his face. Why would you want that? No one would want that. And then they were trying to compare it to Kyle Busch's behavior and blah, blah, blah. And like, he's so entitled. He's this and that. I'm like, it's not entitlement if you just don't want the fucking camera in your face. I wouldn't want it either. So a lot of people came to his defense about it. No one wants it in your face. Especially after you lose a race like that and getting screwed over numerous times. It's insane the amount of stupidity we have in this fan base. And hypocrisy, I'll get to that too. So after the round of 12, Larson, Cindric, Suarez, who had power steering issues during the Roval, and I commend him for finishing that race, because that's hard to do on a road course in general. He was in pain. And who else got eliminated? Bowman. Of course it was Bowman, because he wasn't even running. And Noah Gragson is running in the 48. And he actually had a good run today. He looked like he was going for a top 10, but he just missed it because Austin Dillon passed him, I guess, late. So now we move to the round of 8, where you have the weirdest round of 8 drivers possible. You got the regulars, got Logano. You only got 2 champions, former champions in the mix right now, Logano and Chase. All looking good to make the final 4. Logano won today, which is fine, all dandy. I'd rather battle with him because he's our toughest competitor. I'd rather beat the best to be the best, as they say. And Logano's isn't new to the final 4. Kind of happy he made it in, honestly, over Chastain, because I feel like Chastain will make it in on points, but we'll see what happens at Homestead and Martinsville. We'll see, because he's about 18 to 19 points above the cut line, along with Chase, because they're like right there together in points, which isn't bad. I'm kind of shocked with how shitty today's race went with Chase and his car. Like all weekend looked like he had a shit car, and he honestly did. He never made it out of the top 20. He made it into the top 15 for like a brief moment and just couldn't find the momentum to pass people. He couldn't, like, no matter what they threw at this car adjustment wise, they just couldn't find it. The car was just out of the track too much. It was just all over the place. He finished 21st, and after all that, he still is 19 or like 18 points to the good, which is like, I'm shocked. I'll take it. Like, Vegas has always been kind of rough for him. It's all over the place, like hit or miss. He either runs well there or he doesn't. And he was right that he ran like shit in the spring, ran like shit today, which when people want to talk shit on the crew and whatever and say, oh, they didn't even try. I'm like, you try putting all your effort into making this car better all race long and nothing works. It happens. Homestead, we have some better luck against hit or miss at this track too. But it does favor drivers like Logano, like Reddick. Even Noah Gregson's actually really good at Homestead. So watch out for the 48 car this next weekend, because he's actually pretty good there. So a non-points driver could win that race, which I'm kind of hoping someone does. But we just need a solid points day, like top 10, top 5. I'll be solid, because we finished pretty solid there before. Where did he finish last year at Homestead? I don't remember. I think he finished in the top 10 last year, but I'm not entirely sure. But with Chase, he sometimes over-exaggerates how he runs. So, Jesus Christ, what is going on? Hello? Ooh, the Bills. Oh, the Bills. Come on, beat the Chiefs, please. All I want is the Chiefs to lose to the Bills. That's all I want. I freaking hate Kansas City with a burning passion. They get bailed out way too goddamn much. As I was saying, today was a shit show for Chase alone and all of Hendrick. Larson got taken out blatantly by Bubba because he's an asshole and immature, to say the least. And if Bubba doesn't get suspended or fined for this matter, there's a problem within this sport. They want to be all about safety, and like they're under the microscope about safety and how all this shit works with the car, because you have 2 drivers out with concussions for the rest of the season over like what looked like minor like incidences, but Kirk got basically taken out of the season in Pocono. When was that? That was back in July. We're in October. Alex Bowman had a similar incident at Texas. It didn't look like a hard hit, but when you see the in-car camera, his whole body was just like, his neck like flailed. His whole body was like, he's a tall dude, and he was just like flailing, basically, in his car. after impact. He said that was the hardest, roughest hit I've ever taken in my career. That was, and that says something about how these cars are made. But we need to be also thankful that these guys are healthy and they're able to come back and do what they need to do, like race and whatever. Bowman will come back fully healthy next season, and he's gonna have a new crew chief. So, I want to say Blake Harris. He was the crew chief. He's the current crew chief for Michael McDowell, and he's going to the because Greg Ives is basically taking a step back from being a crew chief. It's still going to be involved in Hendrick, but he's stepping away from being a crew chief. And whatever people say about Greg, I think he's a damn good crew chief. Doesn't get enough credit. Has pretty much gotten 7 wins with Alex Bowman. So, in his career, and it sucks that Bowman won't be able to finish out the season with Greg Ives, but it is what it is. We got 3 races to go. Holy crap. This is weird. This season went by really fast, honestly. And I get to be back at the racetrack in 3 weeks. So excited. But Homestead, going to Homestead. Again, like the people they favored, like Logano, Reddick, even Larson's very good at Homestead because he likes to run the wall a lot. So watch out for those guys. I don't know who else would be really good at Homestead, but I want to get into the finish of this race, or like the controversy that Bubba Wallace put himself in because he doesn't know how to contain his anger. He needs anger management, clearly, and he plays victim. And it was clear as day today. There was a slight incident on track. I didn't think anything of it. Larson looked like he just got in too deep and got up the track, got loose. Just got into Bubba a little bit. Apparently, Bubba hit the wall slightly, not that too much to cause any real damage to his car. Could have easily just went on and finished the race. He had a good car. I'm not gonna lie, he had a good car. He had a fast car. Both of them had really good cars today. But here's the but. Instead of just going on about their merry way and just having a little slight contact with each other, like just battling it out for position, Bubba went into instant retaliation mode, was seeing red, basically seeing blood. Like his fire suit, his ugly ass fire suit, because McDonald's is gross. But they do have, I'll secretly admit, it's not all gross. I like their chicken nuggets. And their french fries. They're really good. Kind of craving that right now. But, not besides the point. Back to Bubba. Don't smoke, people. I'm too addicted to quit. So, this is where I lost all. I've lost respect for Bubba a while ago. Back like 2 years ago, I lost respect for him after the whole news bullshit incident, the pull door incident, where he fully played victim to it and played like, oh, the woe is me nonsense because he wasn't getting enough attention from the NASCAR fan base. I enjoyed Bubba. Before that incident, I loved Bubba. His personality was great. He was good friends with he's good friends with Blaney, whatever. But when all that shit went down, and that whole facade bullshit before Talladega that year, like coming together in unity, but thinking he's like, oh, we're all about equality and bullshit. It's like, no, you just want to play the woe is me bullshit, play victim, when nothing actually happened that was bad. Because the pull door that looked like a noose wasn't actually a noose. All the doors at that track, whatever, forgot what track it was, No one was there to begin with at that track since like October or whenever they run there. Um, and these stalls are randomly assigned by like points or whatever, but I don't know how it goes at Pocono. But every pool door in that garage looked the exact same. Like, and no one's been there. And they just played this story and they went along with it. And it was just complete nonsense after that. So I lost respect for him after that, and then he just started being super toxic. That's the reason I don't like him. It has nothing to do with the way he looks, people. Because that's all you guys love to throw out there and as an excuse that people are racist because we don't like Bubba. Not everyone has to like him. We don't kiss his ass like you people do, like NASCAR does. That's the real golden boy right there. Because they're trying to push him as being the face of the sport when he really hasn't done jack shit. So, yeah. This is when I was seeing red. I was watching the race. This incident happened. Nothing of it. It was just a slight contact with each other. Move on. He got so overreacted to the point of stupidity and unsafe and unnecessary that he went down and turned hard left, turned Larson right up the track into the wall, taking himself out, and poor Bell had his day ended because of Bubba's bullshit. And guess what? Bubba got out of his car, walked angrily over to Larson, and just full on just shoved the shit out of him into his car. Like, he's trying to play like, what was that about? I'm like, are you kidding? You're the one who fucking turned his ass into the wall over slight contact and hard racing. Like, no, you're acting like a gunner, like where anyone makes any kind of slight contact with you, it's personal. He did it intentionally. This justifies the actions I'm gonna pull, like with Darlington, like between Byron and Logano, when Logano took out Byron for the lead in the win. He thought that was just justification to be an asshole and take him out. Literally doing this for one, attention, two, play, oh, my steering went out, I didn't have any steering, and I'm like, that's bullshit because you turned straight into Larson and going full speed, I may add, on the straightaway, which is dangerous. Going 180 miles an hour down the straightaway in Vegas easily could hurt multiple people, including yourself. That was a bullshit move. If NASCAR literally does nothing about this, there's a fucking problem. They literally fined Byron $100,000. Originally, they took away points, which was stupid, but ended up finding him $100,000 for a little bump that spun out Hamlin. No one was hurt. No one wrecked. Both finished the race, top 10. Apologize for the background noise. I need the windows open because it's a nice breeze today. My point again. Penalties have been very inconsistent, but like, people need to understand the appeal board has nothing to do with NASCAR. No one works for NASCAR in the appeal board. The teams just go to defend themselves, give them like evidence, whatever. If they find it suitable to overturn it, great. Not, then they leave it be. So I find it funny that people say Hendrick paid the appeal board off just so they can go back and pay NASCAR a little hefty fine for their screw up for missing what was going on track. That's on them, not on Byron. I don't know. But this in particular matter was unnecessary, unsafe, and cowardly by a grown fucking man. who thinks he's above it all. He needs to be, one, fined, and if he's not suspended for a race or two, I don't know. Fair is fair, right? You fine Byron for basically nothing. If you don't fine Bubba for taking out someone intentionally and claiming he lost steering, like I didn't have any steering, is complete bullshit. And then Bob Pockris had the bullshit nerve to say this on Twitter. If you haven't seen it yet, I will show you. He is a legit nuisance to NASCAR Twitter and let's see. Where are you? Where are you? I don't care who you are. You don't. I had it. I don't know where it went. Not Bob. Why did I say Bob Pockris? Who was this? I forgot his name. God damn it. People should know this. Jesus. Why am I having a brain fart? Wow, I'm having a complete brain fart right now. Who said that? I will pause and come right back to you guys. Well, welcome back, and I found it. Jim Utter. Forgive me, Bob Pockris. I don't dislike you. It's Jim Utter. He says the most nonsense bullshit on the planet. I don't know how he has credentials still. He says that this is the same person who made fun of and mocked Alex Bowman's anxiety on Twitter, made it a hashtag. Anxiety Alex. Remember that? Yeah. He says, only a fool would admit to doing something intentional. You don't give NASCAR evidence. Yeah, he said that. The evidence is on the fucking track and on display for everyone to see. Everyone saw it, dude. Like, he doesn't have to admit to shit when it's right there in front of our faces for the world to see. Everyone knew it was intentional. But there's some people still blaming Larson for the matter and how he's an asshole. I'm like, I don't like Larson in the slightest for the shit he's done over the years, and especially this year with Chase. But in no way did Larson do anything wrong or on purpose. It was a racing deal where he got loose and got up into Bubba. It happens. But to say this shit is stupid as fuck. Don't give NASCAR. Byron admitted to being like retaliating against Hamlin because Hamlin's an asshole too, but NASCAR missed the incident even on track and still penalized him. Clearly, the evidence doesn't give a shit. Evidence or not, the evidence is literally right there on the track and on the broadcast videos to see that he literally turned down immediately and turned Larson and causing them both to have the end of their day, which was unnecessary because they both could have easily went on to finish the race. But no. And then goes and shoves Larson, shoves him overly aggressive. I found a video of someone at the track who had a video of this incident. I will find it. Like, see how he like full just leaned into him and just got super aggressive? Like, that's old Kyle Busch bullshit right there. That's not tolerated. But they cry about Chase, swiping a camera away from his face. That no one can fucking defend. No one should be defending that shit. He like was a full like 3 steps away. Here's Larson, and here and he just lodged himself and pushed him into the car more aggressively than I realized. Thank you for that video, by the way, whoever that was on Twitter. Credit goes to you, by the way. And thank you for that video, because now NASCAR has full-blown evidence how violent this guy can be. He wasn't thinking. He's like, oh, it's justifiable that he's angry, and like, no, it's not justifiable. No, it's not. Bubba acted out of anger unnecessarily, and he needs to be reprimanded for it. Like, he needs to be penalized for it, and we need to hear a penalty by no later than tomorrow. Because there was that's I don't know, like even NBC, like the announcers thought that was completely uncalled for and unnecessary. Like, there was no reason for it. That was dangerous, not to him, but to Larson, to Bell, who he took out. It was completely unnecessary. And now you just made yourself look even worse by playing victim. You played a victim in your interview, saying, oh, I lost my steering. You didn't lose your steering when you full went this way and full throttle into Larson. But you want to complain about safety of these cars and but you go on and try to assault literally a driver on, like, after just getting out of the car. That makes no sense. No sense. But moving on from that, he needs to be penalized, parked. Just like how, remember the Ron Hornaday incident with Kyle Busch in the Truck Series? Just like that. Literally just like that. Turned his ass into the wall and he was parked. And penalized for that shit. Same goes for Bubba. This is a bad look for Denny Hamlin, because that's one of his drivers of 2311. So that's what you want representing your team? An aggressive, overly aggressive hothead that doesn't think before he does a thing? That is ridiculous. That's just beyond me. Toyota drivers need to get a clue. Get a fucking clue. But I'm going to move on to Kurt. Kurt's out for the rest of the season. He announced on Saturday he won't be running full-time next year. And then people are like, oh my God, NASCAR ruined his career, ended it, and blah. This car ruined his career. Like, no, it didn't. No, it really didn't. He just can't compete to his full capacity anymore. He says this series full of best of the best, and he feel like he was not performing at his best. Even though he did get a win this year, he was not performing at his best. We all know that. We can't just fully blame the car for everything. Yeah, the car is a safety hazard. We all know this, but it's not the full reason why he's out. And the thing is, it didn't cost him his career. He's not done racing forever. He's going to come back when he's fully ready and capable and clear to do so. He'll do select races when he's full and ready to do so. Clearly no one listened to that part and we were like, oh my God, fuck NASCAR. Like, it makes no sense. I'm sorry, but it makes no sense. But that means RCR is going to still stay a 2-car team with Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon as teammates next year, thankfully, because screw Reddick and his bullshit. He left a bad taste in RCR's mouth when he made that announcement for signing over to 2311, originally in 2024. And so he got bought out of his contract at RCR to drive at 2311 in the 45 car, next year. Well, Toxic Bubba's still in the 23. We're still waiting on the announcement of the 18 driver. Like, we all know it's going to be Ty. I swear to God it's going to be Ty. Because who else is capable of running in that car and have sponsorship? Because he has Monster backing him, for sure. He's pretty much kept it clean in the Cup Series and has caused no problems. He's had a few incidences, like getting involved in wreck and stuff, but nothing where he's caused a problem, and he's kept pretty spotless and pretty solid. What was I getting at? Xfinity wise, Noah won 4 straight, as I said before. He's won 7 races this year. That's the most from him. And I think this team, JRM, is like dominant, straight up dominant. Josh Berry's won 3 races this year. Swept both Vegas. He swept Vegas this year. And he won somewhere else. Can't remember. All JRM looked solid at Vegas. They finished 1, 2, 3. It was Barry, Noah, and Allgaier, and then Mayer finished 7th, which was really good. Excuse me. What was I getting at? Josh Berry won his way into the championship 4, so I get to watch him for a championship. I still firmly believe Noah's going to win it. Him or Ty. I'll take either, but if Noah wins it, I'm going to lose my shit. I will lose it. There's a good chance that all of JRM will make it into the Final 4. Good chance. But I feel like Ty will be in there. Noah, Barry's already in it, and Allgaier. We'll see. I really hope Allmendinger doesn't make it, because I cannot stand that guy. And oh yeah, guess what? He's coming back to the Cup Series next year for Colleague Racing in the 16 car. They ruined my life. No, I'm just kidding. There's 2 races this year he was not supposed to win, because go figure. He was not supposed to win that race at what was it? The Roval. He was not going to win that race, but they threw a bullshit caution yet again for debris, and with a race Ty Gibbs was going to win, and with 2 laps ago, it's like, here, caution. Psh, look, Allmendinger wins. Oh, great. Then Allmendinger basically stole a win from Mayer at Talladega, which bothers the shit out of me too. What was I getting at? Crud. Haley Deegan. No, she didn't get enough screen time, I feel like, or during the race on set yesterday. Because yesterday was her debut Xfinity Series race. That just was worded poorly. It was her debut Xfinity Series race in the 07 car. She stayed pretty consistent within the top 20 and top 15, and her goal was run all the laps, stay in the lead lap in the first stage, and get them better with the car in the second stage and move forward, which she did. And she ended up finishing 13th on the lead lap. And that's like a best result for a woman in the Xfinity Series. In her debut. I feel like, and she explained the difference between Xfinity and trucks, widely different. She says she can move the car more wherever she wants to, and people in the series actually runs clean and with a little bit more respect in the truck series. And she explained it so well, and it's like she threw jabs at the truck series, and she doesn't. No one needs the truck series. Let's just say that. That's not a stepping stone to go anywhere. It's just a series that some drivers just stay there and just live their lives in the truck series. Like Matt Crafton, he just lives in the truck series. He hasn't gone anywhere. But briefly with the truck series, Matt DiBenedetto got his first win. Woo! In the truck series or in NASCAR. It's great. So proud of him. I don't really give a shit who's running in the truck series anymore. My favorite still for the championship is Zane Smith, but Ty Majeski clinched his way in to the Final Four. So him, I feel like Zane Smith will go. John Hunter Nemechek, obviously, maybe, and I don't know who the fourth will be, but Xfinity. She ran a hell of a race yesterday, Haley. Like, I feel like she would do she's so much better in cars than trucks, honestly. Give her the, decent equipment and she'll go out and actually perform, which she did on Saturday. And people are like, oh, I'm so shocked. Like, how are you shocked? Like, Truck Series ain't shit. It's a joke. They run her ragged. And I feel like they don't give her good equipment ever. She has 3 top 10s to her name. People drive like shit around her, cause problems, and drive like little ass clowns, children. Like, she could maneuver around that track very well, because that's a good track for her, which I'm not surprised that she finished 13th. She could have finished better, but it's just like, well, the Vegas, it's just, you get strung out and you can barely pass. But she did rather well. She held her own. She got a little squirrely at one point, but she managed to keep going. She did really good. So I feel like someone needs to buckle up and, I feel like, give her a ride next year. Not give her, but like offer her a ride next year, full time, because Truck Series is just holding her back, honestly. People just like, oh, she's a bus. She's all like, I'm like, you don't realize no one needs the Truck Series. Ty Gibbs didn't do a single lick in the Truck Series, and he's doing just fine in the Xfinity Series. Just fine. He's a championship favorite. 5 wins on the season. So, 9 wins in total, I want to say, between last year and this year. If I'm correct, I don't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm having brain farts today. I am so sorry. God damn. Xfinity Series. I'd watch out for all the JRM cars at this point. And the Xfinity Series, I feel like, is more of a necessity. And she would perform extremely well, given the opportunity in the Xfinity Series, and actually be there in the mix. I don't know about winning just yet, but like, just be in the mix. I feel like she would do extremely well, and she proved that on Saturday. Like, she stayed on the lead lap, she performed well, and it's just, I feel like it'd be better for her to be in the Xfinity Series. Playoff baseball has been fucking wild. I'll get to that too in another video, but anyway, before I get into an hour long, which is pretty much where it's going, I don't know why I can talk that long, but it was a lot to talk about, so I had to catch up because I haven't done a video in like months, it feels like. I've had a lot of shit going on personally, work-wise, and it's just a lot to manage. Face is just breaking out, and it's just not been a good time. But moving on from all of that, my birthday is this week. I'm having a birthday lunch tomorrow with some girls I've met through like church and hiking and all that. Oh God, now I'm bleeding. Great, don't pick your face, people. So we're gonna have a lunch get together for my birthday with those girls, and then have a family get together next Sunday because Friday is my birthday and I'm working all weekend. So that defeats the purpose of doing anything if I'm just gonna be extremely tired. So Sunday, hopefully everyone can get together, like mom, dad. Hopefully my cousin's here by that time because she's moving here from Texas. I'm so excited. So anyone can guess my age. You probably will get it wrong, but I don't look my age. So, but if you take a wild guess, bravo, and get it right, bravo. Because at work, one of my buddies like, for the life of me, I will always firmly believe and think you are 19 years old. Because when the first time he met me, he admitted that he thought I was 19 years old. Even the manager thought I looked like I was 19. I'm like, no, but I appreciate the sentiment, and I don't want to go back to being a teenager, nor relive my early 20s. So, but granted, I'm older than this kid, so he's like 22. So, but acts like he's 30 sometimes, a lot of the time, but whatever. So that's what's been going on. Why I've not been posting very much. I've been having a lot of mental health problems, struggles, I should say, struggles, not problems, struggles, and dealing with back pain, and just getting old sucks. And but yeah, that's pretty much it. All the drama that has ensued. Oh yeah, Noah's going to the Cup Series. I don't know if I ever said that in any other video, but he's going to the Cup Series, driving the 42 car for Petty GMS. So I feel like he can be a great asset for that team and run well. So, but yeah. Sorry, way too long of a video. I'm sorry if anyone actually sits through this video. I doubt anyone will, but I'll upload this and make another video and talk about like the NFL and MLB because I got a lot to talk about that too. So, peace.